Good morning, guys. Here we are, Science Bellwork Week 6, Day 2, continuing to read about why can't we light a match more than once. Today we will read about an English chemist named John Walker. Today should be somewhat of a review with us discussing friction within the passage as well, so follow along as I read, and then we'll move on to the responses. In 1826, the English chemist John Walker developed a new kind of match. He realized that in order for a match to work safely, its reactants had to react less easily. In other words, the match had to be a little hard to light. Walker came up with the idea of creating a match that would ignite only when it was rubbed against a surface. He put two substances, potassium chlorate and antimony sulfide, on a match tip. He knew that these substances were relatively stable and wouldn't accidentally ignite like some other chemicals. However, he also knew that heat would cause the two substances to react, and this heat could be generated by friction. Friction is a force that resists movement between objects that touch. In the same way that rubbing your hands together causes them to get warm, heat is produced when a match tip is struck against a surface. The heat lasts only a second, but it provides enough energy to start the reaction between chemicals on the match. So, for our response questions today, what it wants us to do is check the boxes next to the statements that are true. So we have John Walker did not think a chemical reaction was required to light a match. That would be false. So if we read within the passage, he realized that in order for a match to work safely, its reactants had to react less easily. So therefore a chemical reaction he knew was required to light a match. Potassium chlorate and antimony sulfide are relatively stable substances. If we look right here in the passage, it says he put two substances, potassium chlorate and antimony sulfide, on a match tip. He knew that these substances were relatively stable. So that would be true. Friction is a force that resists chemical change. That is the third statement. First sentence, second paragraph, friction is a force that resists movement between objects that touch. And this creates a chemical reaction. So we know that that is true. Or, false. False. And then the last one, rubbing your hands together is an example of friction. In the same way that rubbing your hands together causes them to get warm, heat is produced when a match tip is struck against a surface. Objects that touch, rubbing your hands together, we know is an example of friction from what we've discussed and reviewed in class. So we know that that one is also true. Pretty quick day for Bellwork today. Hope you guys made corrections if you needed to. There's your responses, and hope you guys have a good day.